Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to give you a few of my foolish thoughts after Michigan wrapped up the Big Ten tournament title this afternoon. And now we know the NCAA selection committee where they placed Michigan. So I'm just going to go back a few days. And I think this this Big Ten tournament was kind of a microcosm of the whole season for Michigan, if you will. As you know, Michigan State blew out Michigan last Sunday, and Michigan had till Friday to rest up. They had the double bye, I believe it is, a double bye, and so they started off by playing Purdue. If you remember, only a couple days back, they defeated Purdue, blew them out 86-68. That's kind of like the beginning of the season when Michigan was actually able to shoot good threes, and people didn't know how well to defend Vlad and Wolf, right? So there's kind of like your first game, okay. The second game was like what we had versus Maryland, I should say, was what we saw for basically all of January through February, at least the middle of February, where Michigan would have big leads and then squander the leads and still pull out a victory by 4 points or less. Obviously, Trey Donaldson had that iconic play of the Big Ten tournament, the inbounds pass going across the whole court in about 4 seconds to hit the game-winning layup. So, blowout start of the first half of the season or third of the season. Second half, the Maryland game, have good leads, blow the leads, a kind of a common thing that happened with Michigan throughout most of the year, to be honest. And then today, kind of threw the narrative on its head. Michigan was actually down double digits in the second half, and it came back. Now, don't get me wrong, I could say Michigan played good defense, and they forced Wisconsin to take bad shots. I mean, they held Wisconsin to 53 points. Michigan only got 59 itself. But I think another factor here, now it's curious how this would go. Wisconsin was having 4 games in 4 days. Michigan had 3 games in 3 days, right? So even though I know every time Michigan was playing, they had less rest. Their first game Friday was at 9. Their second game Saturday was at the 3:30 time frame. And then this game was at 3:30 again. So in all those instances, the other team they were playing had more rest. Maryland had more rest, and Wisconsin had more rest, right? Obviously not Purdue. Purdue had to play the game before. The day before, I should say. So I was really curious, and I think you could see that down the stretch that Wisconsin really ran out of steam. They missed their last 9 field goal attempts of the game. The only points they had in the last 4 some minutes were just a couple free throws. So I really think you could see the impacts of 4 games in 4 days. Now, very cool. Dusty May is the first-year head coach to win the Big Ten tournament. Really cool that Michigan gets to put up another banner for winning the Big Ten tournament. But what does it really matter? In the eyes of the NCAA tournament, about jack squat. Michigan was expected to be a 5 seed at the start of the tournament. Okay, you beat top 20 Purdue. Okay, you beat Maryland, who's super hot, and they were, again, a top 10, 15-ish team, top 20 team, okay. And now you beat Wisconsin at 11, I believe they were. Now, what does that get you? Nothing. You're still a 5 seed. Okay, so what's the point of the Big Ten tournaments? If it's not going to help impact your seeding at all, what's the point? Now, if you're a usual bracket busting person, you would know the tendency to have the 5-12 matchups. I believe every year there's usually at least 1 to 2 5-12 matchups that are upsets. I remember one year back, I think there were 4. All 4 of them were upsets that year. And that's where Michigan fell in. They stayed a 5 seed even though they won the Big Ten tournament. So again, the NCAA doesn't care what Michigan did. They were a 5 seed. They just stay a 5 seed. So they are going to play UC San Diego, which is a very tough 5 seed. Now, back when Michigan had lost 3 straight games to close out the regular season, and the team was looking terrible in disarray, Michigan was a top pick for a first-round exit. And they still might be a top pick for a first-round exit because UC San Diego is quite a good team. According to Kim Palm, they're the number 36 team in the country. So they're no slouch whatsoever. Now, it also brings the question, why did Michigan get the 5? Some thought with Michigan winning this, it would at least be a 4. And if you look at the Big Ten standings, where people finish, it doesn't make much of any sense. And I'll have to give credit to this. It's GBM Wolverine on X, the Twitter, pointed out how he thinks, and it's up to you, and this is a Michigan channel, so I kind of agree with him, that the NCAA is kind of screwing over Michigan, but it is what it is. He pointed out how Wisconsin had the same losses as Michigan, 9 losses overall. Quad 1 victories. Michigan had 11, Wisconsin had 8. Then you point out that Michigan swept Wisconsin, the game at Madison, and at a neutral court. And if you look at the road records, Michigan finished at 7-3, Wisconsin 6-4. So by all those stats, Michigan was better than Wisconsin and just beat Wisconsin, and yet Wisconsin is ranked as a 3 seed and Michigan is a 5. So what do we think of the NCAA? They don't know what they're doing. It's all about ratings, and such it is. They're going to be playing, Michigan that is going to be in the South bracket with Auburn, Michigan State, Texas A&M. Michigan, if they get past UC San Diego, will have to play the winner of Texas A&M and Yale, as you might recall. Danny Wolf transferred from Yale this offseason, so that would be kind of a little intriguing. Now, I do not like the fact that Michigan is playing on Thursdays. I'm a little bit of a historical guy, and I find that a lot more upsets happen on Thursday than Friday. I believe it's very realistic that the Thursday games, the players and such, are a little more loosey-goosey, maybe don't take the games as seriously as they should, and when those upset happens, you know what it does? It cements in the Friday higher seeds' minds that, hey, we better be on our game because these things happen. So I always notice you have more upsets on Thursday than you do on Friday. We'll see if it happens again this year. So, if you wonder, will I be taking Michigan over UC San Diego as the 5-12 matchup? Will I do that or not? I don't know yet. To be honest, is kind of wondering, is this tournament a correction, if you will, to Michigan's season? Has they found out how to win? I mean, it's only helped that yesterday they shot 40%, I believe it was, from 3. Today they shot 27%, to Wisconsin's like 18%. So it definitely helped. Their shots were falling in Indianapolis. Not so much today. Today was just brutal. Such a poor offensive game. But is this going to be something that's going to spur Michigan on? Time will tell. I'll have to look a little bit more at UC San Diego and see what they got for height. I mean, Vlad got player of the tournament, so he's definitely on a hot streak. Wolf was playing pretty well. The difference is the guard play. Trey Donaldson played very well. You had Jones played pretty solid. You had Burnett. You even had Gale hit a 3-pointer yesterday. He hit a 3. Like his first one since like early January. I also got to say, Kaysen, man, he put up 8 points today. Excellent job. When you can get that from guys off your bench, oh, that's really good, really good. So what do you guys think? Michigan does the unthinkable. I mean, honestly, they were on a slide, losing 3 straight games, not very impressive in any way. The days off seemed to help, and they win the Big Ten tournament, win 3 straight games over 3 straight ranked opponents. Pretty impressive, but will that carry over any? Hey guys, if you have any thoughts about the Big Ten tournament, about the NCAA and the seeding, about your brackets and anything else, put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Until I see you guys next time, as always, go blue.